What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab and Maui. And what a game 2 in the finals. What a
Hindi ako
game.
makahinga.
Guys,
Hindi ako
pagpasensya nyo
makahinga.
yun kasi hindi pa namin napaprocess kung ano nangyari dun sa game na yun. What a comeback from LaSalle. I don't know. And there's a lot of things to process, a lot of things to talk about. I don't know if we're going to be able to talk through that. We just, the game just ended. Hindi pa rin kami makapaniwala kung ano nangyari. I think, even LaSalle, naiyak yung LaSalle. Si KQ, naiyak si Mike Phillips sa press con. What a game by
CJ
LaSalle.
Austria.
CJ Austria was crying
Game
with that
wasn't even
turnover. This,
Umiiyak na, bro. Kala niya tapos.
grabe yung emotions. Grabe yung emotions. To help us process, dun sa mga nanood, dun sa mga fans ng UP, and sa mga fans ng LaSalle, and UAAP fans, let's process this emotion together. Let's process this game together. But before we talk about that, two things first. If you haven't seen our post on Instagram or a recent episode, we just launched our Boleros caps in pink, beige on Gab, dark brown on Maui. If you want to order, we'll put the order links down below. Before we talk about that game.
And let me just say
Gab.
about these caps. I'm
Okay.
really happy with how they turned out. They are
Yep.
fire.
Tagal namin nag-R&D dito, by the way, guys. So, people love them. People love them. Check them out. Gab, before we start with the UP versus LaSalle Game 2 analysis.
Sige, fine. Before we get to the thing I wanted to start this podcast with, I was ready to give up on this game by midway through the fourth quarter because I think UP was up by 8, 73-65. And in my head, parang wala na. LaSalle's offense was going...
Wala na talaga.
Yeah, they were missing free throws. They were turning the ball over. I'm like, there's a slim chance that LaSalle gets this done. I can't believe how UP gave this game away because at that point in the fourth quarter, yung 73-65, I was telling my wife, i-text ko na ba yung mga friends natin, Sam, kung available ba sila for board games on Sunday? Because I want to play some board games. Sabi ko,
Libre na yung Sunday mo no? Biglang libre yung Sunday mo.
Some of our friends are waiting on me. Parang, uy, Game Master, yung mag-board games pa tayo. So, I was planning to kung may available venue ba, who are the people available. Good thing hindi ko tinuloy kasi what the hell?
Instead,
The game.
Instead, I will see you guys on Sunday.
You will see you guys on Sunday. But to my first topic, before we get to that UP LaSalle game, I do want to talk about first that equally, siguro mas natalo ng men's basketball ang women's basketball sa game 2 because the UST Lady Tigresses upset the previously undefeated NU Lady Bulldogs in game 2. This is NU's first loss
Of the season.
Of the season. They're 15. They were 15-0 going into game 2. They could have gone a 16-0 season, much like the season 82 Ateneo Blue Eagles. They were up by 1 heading into the third quarter. Up by 1. And then a rookie destroyed them in the fourth quarter in Kirill Sherba of UST.
That came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere. I think scored 15 out of her 18 points in the fourth quarter, dissecting the NU defense. Cici Clarin tried her best to shoot NU back into this game, but she was answered all the time by Kent Pastrana. Guys, I know every single one of us is more bought in to the UP LaSalle finals, but if you have time, watch the NU UST Women's Finals. They are going to Game 3 for the second straight season. They're going to Game 3. I have to give a shout out to the player of the game, Bridget Santos, who played the game of her life, scoring 27 points. Siya yung nagdala for the first 3 quarters, and then Kirill Sherba and some of Kent Pastrana brought UST home in this game. We're double game 3 on Sunday. If you're there, I would encourage you. I mean, you're gonna be early there in Araneta anyway. I mean, if you want parking, if you want an easy access to the Coliseum, you're gonna be early there. Get yourself some women's tickets. Watch this women's Game 3 finals. I'm sure this is gonna be fire. I am gonna watch. These two teams have been neck and neck. Modern basketball, lots of outside shooting. NU as an FSA in Konate, probably most sister or relative.
UST, wala.
But UST does not have an FSA and they still beat this NU team. It's just a fire game. I hope everyone who's there, everyone for UP or LaSalle, even if you don't cheer for NU or UST, I hope you take the time to watch Game 3 of NU versus UST. Guys, do yourself a favor and watch some great basketball. Okay? But now on to this game. As I said, I have no idea how UP lost this game. I thought this was UP's already. I really thought this was UP's already. That third quarter stretch where LaSalle gave up the lead 55-54. Eventually UP stretched it to 5, 59-54. LaSalle missed 4 free throws.
5.
Sorry. Was it 5? 4.
Yeah. 1 of 6, diba? 5 straight missed free throws.
That was entering the fourth quarter. But in the third quarter,
Ibang stretch pa yun. That's how crazy it is.
Sorry.
No, yung kasama yun, yung 1 of 6, kasama yun yung 4 straight missed free throws na 2 by Romero and 2 by Phillips at the end of that third quarter. And the foul of Harold Alarcon that was taken away on the half-court heave by EJ Goliana. Harold, magpasalamat ka sa buzzer because that was a stupid foul. Why are you doing that? It's a half-court shot. Just let EJ take it. You got lucky. But yeah, that was what? That was 7 points that could have gone LaSalle's way and didn't. Diba? I know we're all gonna talk about the end of the game, but we have to go to the early in the fourth quarter first in the third quarter because JD was on fire in the third. I think he hit 3 straight threes.
Three threes.
At that point talaga, I really thought na there's just a slim chance for LaSalle to come back into this game, especially with the way they started in the fourth quarter. UP was just answering every LaSalle bucket. They were keeping that distance. And same thoughts tayo, Maui. I think you shared this with us. The only way LaSalle is going to win this game is they're going to have to get a KQ monster performance. Just like in their first game against NU, just KQ trying to pull them out of this game. I thought there was no chance because they were really shadowing KQ. Kudos to Raylan Torres. I think among all of the defenders today on KQ, I think he did the best job on KQ, just closing up on him, taking away the airspace. If it wasn't for the really dumb, unsportsmanlike fouls by Raylan Torres, I thought he could have been one of the players of the game. He was straight up really defending KQ really well. It was when Harold was on KQ and eventually the KQ stopper, Jacob Baila, subbed in for him.
Sorry, I have to laugh.
People were calling him the KQ stopper. I saw some comments. I saw some tweets. KQ stopper, Jacob Baila. KQ pulled up on him. I was seated on the couch and I just rose up. What was that shot? Diba? What was that shot? Then next time down the floor, got the switch on QMB. I criticized him in game 1. Why are you taking a contested 3 when you have QMB on you? He still did fade away. I thought he was fouled.
Looked like a foul, yeah.
It looked like a foul. I mean, they called Mike Phillips for the landing space foul early in the game on Abadjano. I thought that was the same thing. I think QMB even got some arm there. I thought that was a foul. They did not call it. It was answered, I think, by a Lopez layup on the other end. And, by a QMB hook shot on the other end. And then KQ finding Mike underneath for the close range shot. And the 76-75, I don't know what was gonna happen at this point. I was stunned. And then Francis Lopez happened. Sorry, yung munti ka na ako magmura ng sobra. Pero, Francis
Pardon
Lopez,
his language.
pardon my language, pero, Francis, what are you doing?
Ganyan din feelings ng asawa kong nanonood.
What a choke job by Francis Lopez. I'm sorry, but that is all on him. That is so crazy. That is all on him, Francis. I think 76-75, LaSalle could not get a bucket to go. CJ Austria made a bad pass to Mike Phillips after the Lopez missed shots. But Francis, 4 free throws to tie and even to take the lead. The turnover by the pass of JD. He almost
The
turned
endgame
over on that
fiasco.
last play. Yeah, the end game fiasco. Overhead pass to Jerry. That's a difficult pass to catch and shoot. Francis, I'm sorry, but I have to call it as it is. That was a straight up choke job. That was a choke job of the biggest proportions. UP had this game. And even you had this game at the palm of your hand. In the end game, you had it multiple times in the end game. What are you doing? So frustrating, man. I cannot. I have to say it because we tease a lot of UST fans about it, but that was shades of Aljon Mariano against LaSalle. That is some crazy ass choke job. I can't. That hurts. If you're UP, that hurts. Because KQ brought LaSalle back. But you had this. Francis had this. At the end of the game, he had this. What? And KQ missed 2 free throws too. Mike missed 2 free throws. LaSalle was just giving this game to UP.
They were giving it to UP.
Oh, man. UP sa'yo
Grabe
na.
yung turnover. Grabe yung turnover na LaSalle, di ba? Of that missed free
Diba?
throws.
Even that 3-on-1 fast break by the pass by CJ Austria out of bounds to Mike Phillips. LaSalle was giving this game to UP.
Naiyak na nga si Austria. Akala niya
Naiyak
siya
na
yung
nga si
nagpatalo
Austria.
di ba?
Yeah, he thought he gave this game away
He
already.
gave the game away, yeah.
I was stunned at the edge of my seat. I could not process fully. I'm sure we're gonna get to the first half later, but that immediately the immediate thing is that fourth quarter was crazy. It was just effing crazy. Maui, I've gone on for so long. It's just so crazy. Grabe yung emotions ko. And I don't cheer for both of these schools, but
Yeah.
I was stunned.
Oo nga eh. Parang invested ka eh.
Ready to pack na kami, di ba? Ready to pack na kami for our last UAAP episode to recap the game, but that was one crazy ending. Some early reactions to the game. Si Raylan Torres picked up 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. So the question is, will he be there during game 3? That's crucial, di ba? He was, as you mentioned, Gab, the best on-ball defender kay Kevin Kiambao kanina. Baila wasn't utilized that much. Coach Gold knew that if he put Baila on Kevin Kiambao, he would go strong. But that's gonna be big for UP. Raylan Torres has actually been very, very crucial, di ba? Yung versatility niya to guard multiple positions, yung outside shooting niya has been crucial. But what a game, di ba? I was just saying to you guys before we got on the air, LaSalle was 4 for 15 on the free throw line during the second half, if you told me that a team would shoot 4 for 15 trailing most of the second half, they'd still win this game. That's just crazy. Diba? UP did their part. Francis Lopez was 4 for 4 before missing those 4 free throws. But I tweeted this out. That was one of the most bizarre finishes I've seen in my life. Not in a good way. Diba? Parang both teams just couldn't really buy a bucket. Both teams just couldn't buy a break. Diba? All of them were missing free throws, countless turnovers. Tama si Gab, nung 76-75 yung score sa endgame, I was expecting maybe a few players hitting some crucial free throws or shots, but this was probably not the ending that I expected, but LaSalle was able to close out this game despite it all, di ba? Despite Abadiano probably having the game of his life. Di ba? They still could have won that game with that Abadiano 3. Actually, kala ko talaga it was gonna go in. Kasi Abadiano was so crucial today. Shout out to Diego Dario for using the Scary Jerry moniker. The whole game.
We see you, Diego. We see you.
We see you, Diego. But
ano yan eh, secret sa subscriber yan si Diego Dario. Yung people nanonood yan ng Boleros eh.
Oy, pero ganda ng I love how Nico and Diego does their own podcast. But going back to the game, grabe. I'm really speechless. Kung si Gab can say a lot of things, I'm still trying to process everything that happened. I can't believe if you just look at the stats, you don't know how it really happened. It's just really KQ carrying them at the end of the game, hitting those 2 improbable 3-point shots, finding Mike Phillips for that go-ahead basket, and still he missed 2 free throws. Diba? It's crazy. It is probably one of the craziest games I've seen in my life. Sam.
Speaking of missed free throws, Maui, and we were talking about this, we have to give players of the games or yung of game 2 to the fans of both sides behind the backboards.
That's a good
They
point.
were the MVPs of this game. They made those free throws miss. I am sure of it. LaSalle in the third quarter, I'm sure Ramiro, I'm sure Phillips. Austria definitely saw the fans behind the backboards going crazy.
Tumatawa pa si Austria.
Goliana missed also.
Goliana missed also. Tumatawa pa nga si CJ Austria. I'm sure he saw something. He missed both free throws. Made the ejection of Raylan Torres look a little bit good. Saved 2 points. Diba? I thought, makaligtas si Raylan dito. Yung foul niya was worth it. CJ missed 2 free throws instead of giving up the easy 2, diba? And on the other hand, the LaSalle fans behind the backboard made Francis Lopez miss 4 free throws. Kudos to the fans behind the backboards, man. Yo, the real MVP, bros. Grabe, saludo ako sa inyo. Sammy, go ahead. Your thoughts.
Siguro just to summarize yung feeling ko watching this game. I think really roller coaster of emotions. Yun yung masasabi ko, like up and down. Whether you're a LaSalle or a UP fan, up and down talaga yung emotions. I was watching with my wife, syempre cheering for UP. Pero this was a crazy game. Tama kayo eh. Just like Gab, I was ready to I was preparing na mananalo yung UP. I was preparing, so we talked about this. Kung mag-champion UP will do bowlers and boleros of the finals or something like that. So I was preparing my notes. Ginawa ko na bowler of the finals, Francis Lopez. Good D hit his 3-point shots in the first quarter. Those were big 3-pointers.
Very aggressive in the first
Very
quarter.
aggressive in the first quarter, in the first
more than
half.
half of UP's points. 12 of the 22 points from UP came from Francis.
And yung shot blocking niya, he blocked a couple of shots again, just like in game 1.
One of his best games.
One
of his best games.
Diba? So, definitely,
If you forget
sulat
that
ko na.
last minute.
Wala pa yung last 2 minutes of the game. baller of the game na tong si Francis Lopez. Finals MVP ko to. Bolero, KQ couldn't get the ball, diba? Lasal couldn't get the ball to KQ. And then, that fourth quarter happened. And then, nagkabaliktara na. From baller si Francis, naging bolero pa si Francis. This is just a crazy game. As in, tama kayo eh. I don't know if anyone expected this game to end like this. And talk about yung roller coaster nga. Lasal kept giving it to UP with those missed free throws. Tapos UP kept giving it to Lasal with Francis Lopez missed free throws and turnovers. And then Lasal kept giving it back to UP with their missed free throws. Pati si KQ I think he was like almost perfect nung game 1. He barely missed the free throw nung game 1.
He was perfect in this game before those two.
He was perfect in this game also. So, hindi ko maintindihan ano nangyayari sa game na to. So, it was that crazy for me. Would you say, Maui, ano sabi mo, is this like one of the best or craziest games you've seen in like in a long time sa UAAP history?
Definitely it is one of the craziest. I can't say if it's one of the best endings kasi we can say siyempre the games that had game winners, the games that had heroes are the games that we should consider as the best game endings. But this is one of the craziest, I would say, without a doubt, diba? I don't think anybody could have predicted what happened in the end game.
Kasi ako naman, I'm in like a couple of group chats and alam mo, kahit yung mga UP fans, kahit natalo sila, parang wow, what a game. Parang yung ending is medyo masaya din sila kasi that was a crazy game. They had their chance eh. UP had their chance. The Jerry Abadiano 3-point shot.
Hindi ako naniniwala na masaya ang mga UP fans, pare. Sorry. Hindi ako naniniwala.
Well, sa group chat ko sa trash talkan group chat ko sa group
Alam
chat.
ko, yung what a game.
They gave it away.
That,
Yeah.
What a game. Nice game. Pero behind the scenes sa amin, hindi mo nakakita yung mga luha niyan. You cannot, if you're a UP fan, you cannot be happy or nice game, whatever about this game because you had this championship.
Ang sakit eh, no? Ang sakit.
Ang sakit. So, let's start it off. We haven't talked about much about the first half. I know the fourth quarter in the last few minutes of the game kind of stole the show and just clouded all of our judgment. Now I'm trying to get back into it because that was a wild first quarter. High scoring, 26-22. Both teams hitting shots. UP hitting threes. I think LaSalle giving UP open threes. As I said in some of the comments in the game 1 pod that we have, LaSalle has to choose. Are they gonna bet on QMB dominating them or are they gonna let UP shoot? UP shot it well. I think they hit 4 threes in the first quarter. 4 threes in the first quarter. LaSalle, paint points. A ton of paint points. They could not hit their outside shots. Just wala. Which was something very different. Something we said that should be watched in this game. And Francis just came out aggressive. Very aggressive. Mm-hmm. You said it, Maui. They started off Henry Agunane on him. And he just said, barbecue chicken, baby. Are you gonna put Henry on me? I am much faster than this dude. I can attack this dude. You will let me take threes. Actually, everyone lets Francis take threes, but he hit them. So kudos to Francis. I thought really carried UP in this first quarter. But Mike Phillips on the other end was a heck of a beast. Game Shark Mike came to play. Game Shark Mike was unforgiving to the UP front line. Even QMB, I think he saw that game 1 film and I'm like, I am gonna take it to this guy. I'm gonna take it to QB. I think he had 14 points in the first quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he had majority of the scoring in that first quarter. Just incredible energy by Mike. There wasn't any spectacular moves. You were just, you're leaving me alone from top of the key. I'm hitting that shot. I am gonna crash the boards. I am gonna get into the paint. KQ finding Mike for from the post up, inside score. LaSalle made a concerted effort to go at QMB. Diba? And kudos to QMB. He took it. I think he only committed one foul in that first quarter, but they were attacking QMB endlessly, especially in the first 5 minutes of the game. It was all post up on, who's QMB's guy? Post him up. Oh, who switched on QMB? You go at him. So it was a lot of that. In the second quarter, still the same. UP kept on capitalizing on the open shots that was given to them. Jerry Abajano, as you said, Maui, I think picked up the slack for Harold and JD, because prior to JD catching fire in the third quarter, he was 1 of 8 in the first quarter in the first half. Layups were not falling at all. His mid-range shots were not falling at all. Harold was in foul trouble, and this is the thing why I said going into game 2, don't put Harold on KQ anymore. KQ just takes Harold's physicality and draws fouls from him. Basa na ni KQ si Harold. I'm sorry. It's now 2 games. Actually, it's now 4 games. Nabasa na ni KQ kung paano mag-defense si Harold. Harold likes to play so physical, and he's
very aggressive.
He's very aggressive on defense. We've always known this about Harold, about this UP team in general. But Harold, you most especially. He lacks in height, but he makes up for it by being physical with KQ. And KQ, you can say some of them are kind of flops, but when you bump and reach like that and someone flops, the ref's gonna call that. And the refs
MVP
were calling
calls.
on and yung MVP calls. LeBron James calls. if you watch the NBA, LeBron gets those calls all the time, and KG was getting those calls. But if you're Harold, that's on you also, because why are you being so physical? So that immediately took Harold out of this game. Again, he was in foul trouble for the second straight game. Could not get anything to go. Limited minutes. On the other end, LaSalle turning it over a bunch as well. Boris Manasigan turning it over. CJ Austria with a couple of pointless drives to the basket that led to turnovers. And then the third quarter, I expected UP to come out and play that same type of defense they did in game 1, and they did. They locked up the LSU for that stretch, especially towards the end of that third quarter. Kudos to Raven Gonzalez. We said, di ba? I think nakikinig na si Coach Topex na yung nakikinig sa Boleros. Yung sabi natin, maybe use more of Raven because he can stretch out the floor. Yep. Maybe not all the way to the 3-point line, but we know he can hit those mid-range shots, those one-handed floaters that he likes to hit. He kept LaSalle. He kept LaSalle in this game. You in the third quarter. I think that gets forgotten about just because of how crazy the end game was. But Raven Gonzalez played a heck of a game. 8 points. 8 points, 2 rebounds, held his own against QMB for stretches, but hit those crucial jumpers. Again, QMB is not comfortable guarding in space. He's an excellent rim protector, but you make him guard on the perimeter or in the extended mid-range, he struggles. Motong Kara showed that in multiple games already. That's the reason why Francis Lopez was put on Motong Kara in the Final Four, because Coach Gold saw the tape and said, QMB, you struggle with Mo because Mo can stretch it out. That's simply it. One of the guys asked in our previous podcast, Gab, if LaSalle is gonna go small, who's gonna guard QMB? That's something you give up. That's something you give up. Golden State Warriors have done this for years with Draymond Green. Draymond Green is so small. He gives up a ton of height on the other end, but you give up this. You compensate for that by spacing the floor and getting extended a ton of open jump shots. And Raven Gonzalez, kudos to him. Kudos to Coach Topex for listening to us Boleros. Hindi. Come on, Coach Topex. We want to hear it in the press cons. i-shoutout yung name mo na kami na nanonood ng Boleros. Come on, Coach Topex. And in the fourth quarter, I was very surprised. And I think we were all surprised. Coach Topex went to Matt Rubico with the game on
magic
the line.
hugot.
With the magic hugot talaga. So, dalawang magic hugot. Now, Rubico did not do much of anything. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't really a magic hugot by...
Hindi magic hugot. Hugot lang.
Yung by any means. Hinugot lang sa ni Coach Topex. But as I was telling you guys before we came on, it wasn't because he was taking a risk with Rubico. I think it was more he had lost trust in Ramiro. Because Ramiro was awful. Ramiro was awful in this game. Actually, has been awful since game 1.
Sila ni Maresigan or Lasal has been really abysmal.
Yep. Very true. I thought na Rubico was cooked by JD once, but you gotta hand it to the guy. He di naman siya nagkalat. Hindi naman siya na turnover after turnover. Even
one very bad turnover. But otherwise was better than probably Ramiro.
Oh, was better than Ramiro. I won't be surprised if he gets minutes over Ramiro in game 3. I really won't. Talk about earning your spot. Now he didn't do much, but he didn't give it away also. So maybe you'll see more Rubico minutes in game 3. Just something to watch. What else? I'm trying to remember. Oh, you mentioned the Francis Lopez blocks, Maui, but one of his blocks in the end game was on CJ Austria, and this is where
makalalag ba yun?
It went to makalalag. Ala Robert, yung ala Vlade Divac.
Right, gave me flashbacks to that Robert Ori game-winning shot. I was for the Kings during that time.
Boom.
That was big. That was big. Kings din ako, sorry.
Langya kayo. But yeah, that was a big play. And this is one of the things na I think a lot of big men have talked about it in the NBA. I watch a lot of NBA documentaries. But if you're gonna block a shot, get possession of the ball. I think Bill Russell had this philosophy when he was playing. You block a shot, but I don't block a shot to throw it out of bounds. I block a shot to get possession back. And that's one of... If you're Francis, I know the emphatic block is nice over CJ Austria. But you gotta get possession of the ball. Diba?
Assist.
So,
gusto niya ng assist.
Gusto niya ng assist. Gago. so gusto niya ng assist kay JC Makalalag. But your point, Maui, in game 1, multiple players have to score 8 to 10 points. Look at the box score, Maui. Goliena 9, Makalalag 9. Gonzalez 8. Yep. They need the others. They need the other guys to contribute. And kudos to them, man. VJ David only hit 1-3. Actually, their first 3 of the game. Si VJ David was still absent from this game, but the others contributed. Goliena, Makalalag, big shots. Raven Gonzalez in that third quarter. You gotta hand it to the others. They really stepped up in this game to support KQ and Motor Mike. And eventually, the two-time MVP receiving his award, taking LaSalle home to Game 3. I can't believe we're going to Game 3. I can't believe we're going to Game 3. And dahil we're going to Game 3, I do have a Zaza later for the end of the podcast. We have to do a Zaza. We have to do a Zaza. Okay. Maui, Sammy. Go ahead.
Maui, anything to add?
Yeah, actually, ikikwento ko rin sana yung Makalalad 3 na yun because it really gave me flashbacks to that Robert Ori 3. That's how, I guess, lucky LaSalle was during that run also. But, man, grabe. I can't believe it, di ba? I mean, I was saying kanina, you really, bilog talaga ang bola in basketball, di ba? You can do all the wrong things, but do the right things at the right time, and you still come up to win the game, di ba? You can miss all the 3-pointers you want, but when you hit the most important 3-pointer, you win the game. Kevin Kiambao was fantastic to end the game, and I think he had gas left because the other guy stepped up, diba? Because Coach Topex took that gamble to not start Kevin Kiambao, because Coach Topex took that gamble to give KQ extra minutes to rest. Gulena and Makalalag were probably the second MVPs of this game, diba? We need if LaSalle is to win Game 3, then this has to happen again. These people, there has to be 3 to 4 guys to score 8 points or more, diba? And they came and delivered, diba? This is how they won Game 2 in Season 86, diba? With players stepping up, with players who are not star players stepping up. That Makalalag 3 was overshadowed by all of that KQ heroics during the end game. EJ Gollena's hustle and grit the whole game, di ba? Grabe, I think both of them were, I cannot count the number of times Gollena was on the floor sa game. Makalalag was already having cramps, di ba, during the end game, but both of them delivered, di ba? These are the types of games that get you minutes and show your potential for the future. These guys are gonna be here for years to come sa LaSalle. These two guys, Makalalag has actually been one of my biggest surprise for this season. Gollena kasi, people have been hyping him, di ba, for the past few seasons. He's been very good during the off-season, and he's finally delivering. Raven Gonzalez, yun ang magic hugot. Not the Rubico minutes, di ba? I think one of the things that I have to say is no more big boy lineup for LaSalle. I don't think we saw that for even a second. 3 bigs at the same time, di ba? That was the main adjustment that I wanted to see from LaSalle. That was what got them into trouble nung third quarter during the previous game. And Coach Topex, kudos to him, di ba? He takes his chances, di ba? This is the coach that takes chances. Grabe yung, if there's a coach that has balls, it has to be Coach Topex, di ba? When he put Rubico during the fourth quarter, I was losing my mind.
I was losing my mind. Why? Why are you putting Rubico?
I was losing my mind because this guy is a non-rotational player for the whole season, di ba? And then he's playing during the most crucial stretch of the game when LaSalle was trailing 7 to 9 points. And kudos to Rubico. Gabi's right. I think he's gonna get the Ramiro minutes probably for Game 3, di ba? He's probably gonna get that minutes because he earned it. Diba? Despite that bad turnover, he did pretty well. He pressured JD Kagulangan. JD Kagulangan was non-existent nung fourth quarter after that very hot third quarter.
They blitzed him. Over and over again, they blitzed
over
him.
And over again.
Kudos to the defensive coordinator of LaSalle or to Coach Topex or to Coach Caloy Garcia, whoever thought of that. Basically saying to UP, make anyone else beat us except JD. We're taking it out of JD Kagulangan. It's every pick and roll with QMB. Blitz. We're taking it out of JD. JD, make someone else beat us. That, again, Maki, to your point, risks. Coach Topex took risks. And you gotta tip your hat. You tip your Boleros cap to Coach Topex.
That's how you win games, diba? That's how you win unwinnable games. I would consider this probably one of those unwinnable games. Diba? UP supposedly supposed to be closing out that finals, that championship, leading by 9 points, and you're playing Rubico, and you're blitzing all of those Kagulangan drives. It's actually very good that they're also able to stop si QMB, diba? Kasi during the third quarter, when they started to blitz Kagulangan, he was always able to fight QMB, but they were able to grabe yung help defense ng LaSalle. If you saw them during the fourth quarter, they were all over the court running all around. But yeah,
QMB had 8
them.
rebounds. 8 rebounds, QMB. Total.
Tsaka he had, I think I'm not sure if it was Boom or Jego. QMB had 0 offensive rebounds throughout the whole game. Diba? Yung 2 offensive rebounds were only during the most crucial points.
Yeah.
But for UP, you just have to swallow this loss. Diba? A couple of players stepped up. Abadano was playing his game of his life. Kagulangan was his usual hero self. QMB was able to get going in the fourth quarter, in the second half when they were able to figure out yung coverage with him. Francis Lopez has to swallow this loss and just move on to next game. Diba? He was having the
Maturity.
maturity. To be honest, I was actually thinking Francis Lopez was gonna be the finals MVP after this game. Diba?
Ako din.
Kasi during the first game, he was one of the top performers. And then during this game, he opened up with probably the best quarter of his UAAP career. And he was a menace on both ends of the floor. So for UP, it's gonna be hard to get over this. But remember, LaSalle was able to get over a 20-point beatdown or a 30-point beatdown during game 1 of the finals last year, di ba? How do you respond in game 3? That's gonna be the main question for UP. Are you gonna stumble or are you gonna rise up? Di ba? They have to forget about this game. It's still, di ba? Winner take all, game 3. So this game doesn't matter anymore. They have to forget about this. Francis Lopez has to forget about this. Maybe just go to the gym and practice your free throws. I don't know, but they have to move on, di ba? They have to move on and they have to, this is when the veterans will come into place. They have to show the way during game 3. They have to start good if they are to win game 3, in my opinion, because if they go down a hole, then maybe that hole, they won't be able to climb out of that hole, diba? But what a game still by UP. It's I can't imagine what the UP faithful and alumni are feeling right now, diba? Me and Gab are not invested, diba, in any of these teams. Maybe si Sam, because he's from UP, is a bit invested, but the feeling is crazy, diba? It's like they threw the championship away. But at the end of the day, there is still a game 3 winner take all. So forget about it, move on, and play hard in game 3.
Yeah, you can ask my baby. Binabantayan ko siya, sumisigaw-sigaw ako. So I am invested. I think you guys pretty much covered everything. Siguro yung Rubico minutes lang. Surprising talaga yun. I think kung in the last finals, nagtataka tayo kay Coach Gold but hindi niya linalaro si JD. This time naman parang, bakit si Rubico yung linalaro mo? Factor, obviously, David was in foul trouble. Speaking of the
And Ramiro was shit.
and yeah, that's a good point actually, Gab. He could have played Ramiro, but he decided to go with Rubico.
Ito yung perfect, sorry Sam, I have to say lang. Ito yung perfect example. Ito yung perfect example na you cannot just look at the plus minus, di ba? Ramiro was playing like shit, but he was a +4 in this game.
That's
diba?
true. That's true.
Exactly. And Sammy, sorry, yung on Rubico, this is an example of a guy staying ready and knowing his role. Because I don't think Rubico came into this season looking for himself as a rotational player. I think, if you watch the preseason, he wasn't getting any burn at all. I think he came to the season, I'm gonna be the bench guy, just gonna be playing when I'm ready. And you contrast that to your point to Sean Alter. Because I think Sean Alter's mindset was pretty different coming into the season. Sean Alter's mindset coming to the season is, I'm gonna be a backup. I'm gonna play significant rotation minutes. And come season, because of QMB, he's the 15th guy, 16th guy. Kaya when UP LaSalle, first round, second round, you put in Alter, you know why he didn't stay ready? Because he never thought of himself as a rotational player. And this is in contrast to Rubico. Yes, he made one bad turnover, but he was ready. Defended JD closely, set up the offense. Hindi siya nagkalat, for the most part, stayed ready. Because he knows he's a role player. I don't think Alter knows he's a role player or accepts that he's a role player because of his role in the preseason. Just calling it as it is, man. That's how I look at it. That's why I don't buy you have to stay ready, because Alter did not did not know that he was gonna be a bench player. That's the
Last
point.
minute.
No, yung last minute siyang, okay, we're taking in this guy, you're the fourth center. You're not playing. Diba, if you're Alter, come on. Yung nagsipag ako buong preseason, tapos ngayon, come season, which I barely get a minute of game time. This is the difference, Sammy, of what we were talking about back then. Siguro, just one other point, to the person who said that Jacob Baila proved us wrong, I heavily contested that because anong proved us wrong? Look at him now. He only got 6 minutes in this game. And you know why he got minutes in game 1? Because 4 other players were in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took 4 guys getting 2 fouls for him to get significant playing time. He's way below in the depth chart. He didn't prove us wrong. It's more of we never said he wasn't good. We always said
we were high on him.
Season, we were high on him. We always said now we like Baila, man. 6'4", 6'5", wing player, has an outside shot, can defend multiple
good defender,
positions.
Yeah. Versatility.
Future of UP, future star of UP.
Yeah, he's the future of UP. But the problem was he was playing over someone who's the supposed star player of UP, the second best offensive creator of UP. Harold Alarcon was not getting the same amount of run because they were starting a rookie in Jacob Baila over him. And what we said was that they should start Harold because it's now chips on the table. They're trying to win a championship. Start your best guys.
Yep.
Anong proved us wrong? Come on. We never said he wasn't good.
We never hated on him,
Yeah, we never hated on him. We just said that he shouldn't be playing over guys like
Harold.
Alarcon. Torres, you can maybe he's better than Torres now. Maybe I can give you that. But Torres is a vet. He's coached Bata ni Gold yan.
He knows the system.
Knows the system. Yung
Proven.
Torres, Coach Gold, yung kay Raylan. So, again, man, we were saying the praises of Jacob Baila. He played a heck of a game. Heck of a defensive game in game 1. But you saw the reality of Jacob Baila here in game 2. He's way below in the depth chart, especially when you're trying to guard KQ. Actually, si Aldous ngayon nawalan ng minutes sa game na to eh. He only played, 5 minutes? Yun. 4 or 5 minutes. Si Aldous yung nawalan ng game. It was mostly Torres and Alarcon. And in the fourth quarter, Francis, I love it, Francis. But by the way, I loved your defense on KQ. I thought he blocked KQ shot in the corner when he attempted a 3. I love that you took on that assignment. Start pa lang ng game, please. Gawin mo na yun, Francis. Hindi na all throughout. Don't switch. Don't ask for the switch. I don't know. Look at the top tier defenders in the NBA. They don't want the switch. Just give me the guy. Defend the 2-time MVP, Francis. That's one way na makabawi sa game 3. Take it to KQ. I want this. Yes, nagkalat ka, nag-choke ka sa game na to, pero Francis, if there's
kalimutan na.
Kalimutan mo na. And bantayan mo si KQ. Try to stop KQ for the entire game. Mano-y-mano. Like what CC Clarin and Kent Pastrana are doing in
Nice shout out.
Underrated rivalry.
Yeah, star versus star. Bantayan tayo. Tayo yung let's try to score on each other. Francis, do it to KQ. Star on star. Let's go. I think that's how you make up. If you stop KQ in Game 3 and win the title, man, the UP fans will forget about this Game 2 performance. That's my opinion, Francis. You have to go big or go home. Game 3.
All in.
Chips on the table.
All in.
All in na. Yeah, exactly. And
don't lose that Don't lose that edge. Diba? Kasi I think he was really playing the game of his life. Diba? It's just unfortunate how it ended, diba, today. But if you don't look at that last 2 minutes, you would have seen the future of Francis Lopez, diba? Guarding that perimeter player, hitting 3-point shots, being a menace in passing lanes, blocking 3-point shots, diba? I think that's where he has to start, diba? If he wants to become a professional abroad, he has to show that he belongs on the defensive end, diba? Kasi that's something you can't take away, diba? When you're a defensive guy, that's something you bring everywhere. It's like being a 3-point specialist like Fortea, 'di ba? It's something all teams need. A defensive stopper, 'di ba? And di ba kalimutan na, I would like to see him have that same sort of first quarter like he did this game, di ba? Be aggressive, drive to the basket, shoot your 3-point shots with confidence. I mean, it's gonna be hard to forget about this with the short turnaround, but that's the reality of it is, di ba? If you want to be a legend in the UAAP, you have to have a stone cold heart. Diba? All people go through this.
Cold heart.
All people go through this. Diba? If you want to be the hero, you also have to be willing to be the one to let down the team, diba?
To take up the challenge, to take
Take up the challenge.
risks.
Oh. Another observation from this game, guys. The paint points kind of shifted. 34-24 paint points. Compare that to game 1. I want to give credit to LaSalle's defensive coaching staff. Switched up the defense a ton of times. Played zone more. They only played zone in the last few moments of game 1. They played zone more in this game, trying to prevent the mismatch in the paint with QMB. As you said, Maui, anytime QMB caught it, defense collapsed. And he traveled, I think, more than a couple of times in this game. He caught it. Mike pulled the chair on him once. There's a ton of guys around QMB making UP hit outside shots. Now UP hit 9 compared to LaSalle's. How many did
6.
LaSalle hit? To LaSalle 6, but paint points spell the difference. I did not see this coming. I thought threes were going to be one of the main barometers, the stat to watch, as we said in this game. But paint points are starting to become a thing. 34-24 paint advantage for LaSalle. You would not have said that if you saw game 1. when UP dominate, well, didn't dominate the paint, as you said, Maui, but got a ton of their shots inside the paint. And I did say in game 1, it's not about LaSalle made fewer threes than UP, but it's not about how many you hit. It's about when you hit them. And KQ hit the biggest shots of the game. 3-point shots in the fourth quarter. Just I would like to take this moment, guys, na medyo sing our praises lang for KQ kasi grabe naman this guy. The shots that he hit,
Generational
talent, Maui, tama ka dyan. And perhaps increase nyo naman kontrata ko.
Oo, pwede. Might be the last game we'll see him play on Sunday. So to all the UAAP fans, we have to appreciate the KQ moments.
Grabe, I thought LaSalle was dead. I really thought LaSalle was dead in that fourth quarter. Let's just appreciate him while he's here in the UAAP and we can watch him on this stage. Grabe, I criticized him for taking contested threes, pero if they go down like
That's
this,
true.
it's so crazy to watch. Talaga, kasi those two last threes, Bailo was draped all over him. Talaga napapasigaw ako. Pati the second one on QMB was draped all over him. Even fouled him, in my opinion.
Looked like a foul, yeah.
Still made it.
Tawag dun, bro, Bastusan shot.
Bastusan siya. And that's coming off the na-block din siya nga ni Lopez, 'di ba? May isa siyang 3 na na-block ni Lopez. Talagang stone cold si KQ. I was just going to ask you guys, so may game 3 tayo. You covered most of what happened in game 2, I think. Anything you're looking forward to game 3, something to watch out for? Maybe like Josh David or Harold Alarcon bounce back game. Both guys haven't played well in the finals. Gab, I'm surprised hindi mo na point out na the 5 points that Harold Alarcon scored, I think back-to-back pa nga yun. He hit a 3 and then like another jumper was like when JD Kagulangan was on the bench and then right after that, bumalik agad si JD Caligulangan. So they still haven't played well together. Anything
It's
you're
not
looking
possible,
forward to?
Sam,
Or
because they both need the ball.
Mm.
It's just the reality. It's more. It's a trend. It's more than just a trend now. It's reality. Both these guys need the ball
Nasanay
to
na.
be effective. Yeah, masyado
Eh-
silang nasanay na nasa ball yung nasa kamay nilang bola.
Kaya parang mas si Jerry na no? Yung mas gumagawa than Harold. But I
Yeah,
think you
because he
made a
does
good
not
point.
need the ball.
Exactly.
He's an
And
outlet. Go ahead, Sammy.
and I think you made a good point on Harold. Like Harold guarding KQ has put him in foul trouble the past 2 games. So I think that's an adjustment that they have to do for game 3. But anything else that you think they should adjust? Both teams should adjust for game 3.
Ako tingin
Yeah.
ko,
Maui, go.
Oh, go Maui.
sorry. I think it's very problematic if Raylan Torres is out for the game, di ba? If 1 or 2 or 3 of those guys get 2 fouls quickly, like it happened in game 1,
Mm.
di ba? It's gonna be very problematic for UP. If I were UP, I would be appealing one
Pwede
or
pa naman
both of
i-appeal,
those,
di ba?
one or two, both of those unsportsmanlike fouls. I don't think that second unsportsmanlike foul can be appealed kasi sobrang obvious talaga na unsportsmanlike.
Obvious.
Diba? It's a clear path foul, but it's big. Diba? The magnitude of that play was big. Diba? If you look back sa game, maybe CJ Austria wasn't able to hit those two free throws. But I think one of those KQ3s came from that steal by CJ Austria. So that's how big that play was, diba, in reality right now. But for LaSalle, it's for UP that's gonna be the main problem. Will they have enough bodies to match up with Kevin Kiambao if they get into foul trouble? For LaSalle, it's still the same for me from game 1. Who from those guys, who from these role players will step up? Diba? Gullena has been consistently stepping up. I think he had a good first game. He had an even better second game. Makalalag was able to bounce back from last game. Will we see Ramiro next game? Diba? Maybe it's gonna be all Rubico. Diba? So it's will we see a VJ David come back? Diba? As you said. Kasi VJ David has had back-to-back abysmal games against UP, diba? After having those 2 big games nung season. So, a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be about the health for LaSalle. It's important for them to step up early in the game. Diba? For KQ to have enough gas in the tank to be able to step up during the end of the game. Diba? I think si Mike Phillips did a very good job in first quarter, giving them enough cushion, diba, for KQ to not come in super early, diba? And having that luxury of even having KQ come off the bench even in the second half. But as you can see, si Mike Phillips was gassed nung end game. He couldn't hit shots anymore, couldn't hit free throws. QMB was out hustling him for rebounds. Even si Francis Lopez was able to get some rebounds. So it's gonna be all about the help, diba? Will Raven Gonzalez step up again? Will Makalalag step up again? Will Colliena for the third straight game step up again? Will LaSalle finally hit some 3-pointers, diba? Will CJ Austria be consistently okay? Diba? Kasi he's also he's
Up and
also a
down.
big
He's a
wild
roller
card.
coaster, man. He's a roller coaster.
Diba? He's a
J.R.
very
Smith.
big wild card. He's a very big wild card, diba? From what we've seen, but those defensive stops kanina, he had 3 steals. Those defensive stops were crucial. With the last steal being the most crucial because it got them the 3 and it could get Torres suspended for next game, diba? So that's it for me. Gab.
I don't know lang if maybe because it's a game 3 they will rescind the suspension. Pero kasi nung kay Kalisay, his second was a delay of game technical which got him kicked out, diba?
Kaya feel mo na rescind yung suspension.
That's why I think the UAB rescinded because it's a delay of game technical. I mean, he didn't do anything to he didn't like grab someone, hit someone in the face. Hit Torres, hit Goliana in the face, and
Clear path.
had a clear path foul. Clear path foul. Like
Wala nang
naging
mas
sulit.
malinaw pa.
Oh, naging sulit because Austria eventually missed too. But I'm not sure if the UAAP rescinds his suspension. I'm sure Lasales are gonna be angry. Diba? Because those were clear unsportsmanlike fouls. I mean, he hit Goliana in the face. I mean, you punish Precious Momoway for inadvertent elbows to the face. And so if he hit
May
Goliana in the face,
precedence,
that's an unsportsmanlike foul. So I don't know. I don't know what the UAAP will do. You can argue for either. Like it's game 3. It was only a clear path, but it's a clear path. You tried to prevent an easy 2 point. So I don't know. Very hard to argue for either side. But for your question, Sam, your adjustment for UP, continue attacking the paint. I think they have found success there. They have found success in collapsing Lasalle's defense. For the most part, shot well from the free throw line. Just really in the end game that they floundered. I don't know, and I still think they need to get Harold going. The problem is getting Harold going means less touches for JD. So I don't know, that's a hard thing to figure out. If I were to pick a magic hugot for them in game 3, I would pick Terence. We have barely seen Terence Fortea in the finals. He's a dead-eye shooter. If they're gonna go zone as much as they did like in game 2, I think they need to put their best 3-point shooter out there. And who is their best 3-point shooter throughout the season? It's Terence Fortea. He's been absent in the finals. I don't know why. They're preferring a lot of Harold and Raylan to defend KQ and Jerry to defend the other guards. So I don't know. Ang pick ko sa Magic Hugot you would be Terence Fortea. Just seeing how
That's a good pick.
LaSalle defended them in the paint today and the defensive sets that they were running. For LaSalle, mahirap to. Kasi they can't let KQ be gas. So it's really about getting the others going. Guys like Makalalag did great job in getting those 9 points. Austria, again, the ups and downs of CJ Austria. But Goliana, they have to get him going. They have to get more open shots for VJ David. They just have to get KQ in spots that he likes to be in, that he won't force shots up. For the most part, he wasn't forcing shots up. It really just in the end game where he went ham and just said, I want to win. Those were the only times he was really forcing up shots. So, hard to say. Mix up your defense. Continue to mix up your defense. I think that really threw a wrench in the plans of UP in this game. So I do think they should continue to play the switch up defense. They played a ton. They sometimes played a man-to-man full court press, a 1-2-2 press, iba-iba. So I would look for the same. Continue to crowd QMB. You can't let QMB dominate the paint like yung like in game 1. It was a good gamble by Coach Tupex. A lot of good gambles by Coach Tupex. Interesting what will happen in game 3. Last words, Sammy and Mau, before I do my Zaza.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it for today's episode. Comment down below your reactions to that game. Share nyo yung emotions nyo kasi it's time for us to process that game. And we'll definitely see you in Game 3 on Sunday in Araneta Coliseum. Gab, take us away.
Channeling my inner Zaza. We're going to Game 3, baby! Game 3!